I do have my partners in the chat moderating for me. You have Candy and you have Kari. They will be assisting us tonight. So if you have any questions whatsoever, I definitely want you guys to go ahead and put them in the chat so that we can make sure we get all of them answered by the end of our time here tonight. So I definitely want to go ahead and thank you all for being with me. And as people come into the room, I'll just keep going. So I always favor the action takers. I always like it when people are on time or early. I love it when I drop something and those people are quick to jump on it. So that's why I tend to give out a lot in the beginning. So I just have a few questions for the people that I do have in the room so far. Have you ever been a tax professional before, or have you ever done taxes for family members or for yourself? If you have, I want you to put a 1 in the chat for me. What about credit repair? If you've ever done credit repair, put a 2 in the chat. I like to know who I have in the room. That way I can make sure I'm talking to you in a way that you're going to be able to absorb what I'm saying to you tonight. So I like to know who I have in the room. I also love feedback and I love interaction. So it's okay for you all to come off mute. It's okay for you all to ask questions. So that we can get those answered and everything like that. So if you've done taxes for your family or yourself before, or you've done taxes on a business basis, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. If you've ever done credit repair, go ahead and put a 2 in the chat. So far, we don't have anybody in here that's already done credit repair. Everybody is coming in, y'all. They are coming in. All right. And then I want you to put a 3 in the chat, okay? If you've ever been an entrepreneur before, if you've ever had a side hustle, if you've ever made money on the side, I want to know who I have in the room. All right, we got a couple threes. All right. Okay. All right, good. Okay, so let me ask this. This is my last question. Put a 4 in the chat if you've never done business before. You've never been an entrepreneur. You've never had a taste of business, and tonight will be your first taste. Let me know. If we have anybody in the room like that, I definitely want to make sure that I'm making this inclusive and I touch on what you guys need to know. All right, cool. So it looks like my crew is rolling with me. When they come in, if they coming in late, they're going to have to catch up. So again, I have Candy and Kyrie moderating my chat for me. If you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. They will let me know if you guys have any questions and we will get those answered. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And my name is Patrice Valentine. I have been an entrepreneur for over 15 years. I specialize in driving high revenue and high value sales, which we'll talk about in a moment because that's important. I have a very proven, simple formula that makes it easy for me to revolutionize the way I teach and the way I lead across the board. I can help whether it's online or in store, whether it's in person or it's a service or a product. Then what we're talking about tonight is going to be relevant. And what I do want you guys to know before we dive in also is that I love profitable skills. Okay. I love profitable skills. I love transferable knowledge. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because even if you just have a side hustle, right, and it's not taxes, this information is still going to be relevant for whatever you're doing. This information fits any business model available, and it's going to be able to help you regardless of if you're starting in taxes or in credit repair. Okay. Awesome. All right, so I've summed this up into an easy absorb format, so it's not going to be hard for us to follow, but I want to go ahead and dive right in. As you can see, I've been in a few publications. I've been on stage. I've done talks. I've done speeches. I have articles written about me, and so I really be out here popping my stuff, okay? And I want you to be able to do the same because I want you to have the maximum visibility for your side hustle or your business so that it can bring you the clients that you actually deserve and want, okay? So back in 2019, this was pre-pandemic. I was a executive at Macy's. Okay, what I owned at Macy's, because what they like to call it is ownership. So I own Center Core, all the pretty girl stuff: shoes, handbags, jewelry, cosmetics, and fragrances. all the accessories, right? I had center core. So right there down the strip of the center of the mall was what I owned. That totaled up to a $6.7 million book of business annually and growing. So when I first started, I inherited it and then I was able to grow it. Okay. The one thing about me is when I talk about sales and when I get in the ring, I hit the ground running. So I was able to take my team to a point where we were beating out Atlanta West. Just to give you guys an understanding of where we are in Columbus, Georgia, which is about 79 miles south of Atlanta. It's a little blip on the map. It's actually going to be the third largest city in Georgia, but because of the way that we have our city set up, it operates like a small town feel. This is also when retail was dying. Okay. So we had fewer and fewer customers frequent the store and sales were really, really hard. But I came in out the gate and I rallied my team to hit those goals and achieve past what people would expect, so much to the point where we were beating out Atlanta West. I have a little arrow here because I want you guys to understand something too. This is my little baby bump. This is Nia in my belly. She's 5 now, but I want you guys to understand that when I started doing taxes and when I jumped into the financial industry, I had a baby in my belly. In fact, I went into labor and gave birth right before or during the season. Okay, so it was January 19th that I gave birth to her during the season. And so I really wanted to point that out because not only was I executive at Macy's, I was also pregnant and I was able to start my side hustle as a tax professional. Okay. So it's not hard to do and it doesn't take a whole lot of effort, but eventually we want you to get to a place where you are fully submerged in what you do as a tax professional. So we fast forward to 2022 and we've gone through the pandemic. And I said to myself, when I got to look at my baby, I did not want to leave her at home by herself anymore. In 2022, I was speaking on stages. I had paid brand collabs. I was publishing my intellectual property and I was creating money. What I want you all to understand again is that you can create money out of thin air. All you have to do is pull what's in that head of yours together, package it in an irresistible offer, and you are able to sell it. As long as you have all your T's crossed and your I's dotted, you'll be able to sell that item. During that time when I stepped away from actually working for someone and into what I wanted to do as an entrepreneur, 100% entrepreneur, okay, I felt valued. I felt more at peace. I felt less stressed. And I looked at myself as a thought leader. Okay, this is also where I want people who partner with me to understand that you will become a thought leader. If you feel like what you have to say has weight to it, we're going to put you in a position to where you're able to talk to your audiences and let them know where your mindset is at so that you can change the landscape in the industry, right? So all of these opportunities stem from building a strong personal and professional brand coupled with focused effort. This is really important because a lot of entrepreneurs just kind of jump out the gate and they decide, hey, I'm going to start doing this. And they never really establish brands, right? They never really establish a brand that's going to get them where they want to be, get those clients that or customers that they want to have or desire to have. And it doesn't bring in the revenue that they expect. In fact, it keeps them in hustle mode. And right now, hustle is a bad word. So we're going to help reframe the word hustle for you tonight. So now where I am is I am helping tax professionals, new and seasoned, all the way up to 6 and 7 figure clients. Okay, 6 and 7 figure. I'm sorry, 6 and 7 figure. Well, they are 6 and 7 figure clients because they are 6 and 7 figure tax pros. But that's where I'm at now. I'm working with tax professionals. I'm helping you all establish your businesses. I'm helping you all establish your brands. I'm helping you all get your name out there in the marketplace, whether it's on social media or in person, and it brings in the revenue. And tonight, we are not even touching on digital products, but that is a whole other stream of revenue and passive at that you can take advantage of. But what I really want you to direct your attention to is what this young lady said about me here. She said, I am making money right now during the tax off season. And that's what I hope for all of my partners and everybody that joins hands with me. You do not have to wait until tax season to start making money. You can make money for what skills you have right now. And we're going to teach you guys how to do that tonight. So I see I got some new people coming in. Let me know who you are in the chat. If you are a business owner already, let me know and put a number 3. If you have done taxes for family members or even yourself, you'll put a number 1. If you have done credit repair before, you can put a number 2. And then lastly, if you've never been in business, you've never been an entrepreneur, and tonight is your first experience, I want you to put a 4 in the chat. Remember I told you guys that hustle is a bad word? Let me tell you why it's a bad word to me. Hustle is the quickest way to burn out, but what it does is it produces a dopamine rush inside your brain and for your emotions, okay? And what that does is it causes you to be caught in a cycle. So every time that something looks shiny and it pops up for you, you're running to chase after it. But more importantly, what it does is it creates a quick energy rush, which then leads to toxic motivation, right? So I want you guys to understand the difference between positive motivation and toxic motivation. Toxic motivation will look like, I'm struggling right now. I need money so I can pay my bills. Positive motivation would look like, I get to create money as often as I want to because I am able to do that, right? And so today I want to help some people. And so this is how I'm going to make my money, right? And when I'm saying that, I want you guys to look at how you're motivated. A lot of people like to push motivation all the time, but let's be real. If you don't develop a baseline of consistency, then all the TED Talks, Bishop AIs, all the gurus, all the mentors, they're not going to be able to motivate you on those days where you cannot get out the bed. There may be times in your life you can lose a loved one, you can have a bad relationship, you could be going through something serious, and motivation does not always make you move. So I want you guys to reshape what motivates you, okay? Dopamine is going to have you chasing the next dollar, like an addict would chasing the next high. If I have any recovering addicts in here, congratulations. And I hope that your journey is doing well for you. But what dopamine does is it's going to have you chasing the next dollar. When you're chasing, when you first get that dollar in entrepreneurship, so I got mostly entrepreneurs on here. When you first get that dollar in entrepreneurship, let me know, did it not fuel you to be like, let me go get some more money and I got to get it quick. I want that again, right? It's a rush and it just keeps you in this cycle. But what happens is it could be a crash out waiting to happen. Okay. And then it's going to present itself in your survival mode. But guess what happens when you get in survival mode as an entrepreneur? Because all of your traumas are going to come out as an entrepreneur. I want you to know that. Everything that you have buried deep down inside of you is going to show itself in your business journey. So this is going to become public and visible trauma. Let me tell you what it looks like. Y'all ever seen somebody crash out on social media behind, a client saying something crazy or a bad review? That's their trauma speaking loud and clear for their audience to see. So if you are not okay with being visible, it's very important for entrepreneurs to do the inner work. Okay. Your clients become victims instead of them being the people that you want to help, because that's what you envisioned when you first became an entrepreneur. They become victims. You out here headhunting for the next dollar. Who's going to be my victim? Who's going to be my victim? I don't want you guys operating like that, because guess what? Everybody can see it. They can smell the desperation in your posts. They can smell the desperation on you when you're outside handing out your business card. Okay. So I don't want anybody operating like this. You have to do the inner work. All right. And this is ultimately going to lead to bad reviews and experiences with clients that you have. And we don't want any of that to happen. How are we going to get you guys started today? I have a proven roadmap, and I sat and I thought about it, and I got you guys the acronym, and it's called profits. Don't we love profits? We love profits in our business. Profits are better than revenue because that's what you get to take home, right? I want you guys to think of this acronym as a buzzword for tonight, so it keeps you grounded on your journey and as a reminder for what you need to do. Okay, so P stands for positioning your mindset. R stands for researching and immersing yourself in the industry. O stands for organizing systems. F stands for finding your dream clients, or rather they find you. I stands for increased visibility. T stands for track your leads. And then S finally stands for scale with intention. The great thing about this framework is that it's scalable. So as long as you add to it, as far as effort goes, it's going to scale exponentially with you. The baseline is already set. Once you reach your next level, you can take this same framework with you, and it's going to grow with you. Okay. Positioning your mindset. So we're going to do an activity. Okay. And I want you guys to help me with this. Okay. So we're going to talk about limiting beliefs and empowering beliefs. Before I start anything, I always start with mindset. Why is that important? Because as an entrepreneur, you have to renew your mind every day. You have to have your head in the game every single day. And then on those days where you don't have your head in the game, thank God for automation, right? But I tell people all the time, entrepreneurship is one of the biggest faith ministries that exist because everything is a risk. The very definition of entrepreneur is risk taker, right? So everything is at risk all the time in your business. And I'm not telling you that to scare you, but to be realistic about how you look at entrepreneurship, right? How you look at becoming a business owner, because it's very important. So here are some common limits and beliefs that tax professionals or new tax professionals may have, or even some seasoned tax professionals. I'm new. I won't get clients. I can't juggle my job and my business. Everybody does taxes, right? Or I can't take anyone seeing me fail, right? Everybody has had those thoughts at one time or two during their tax preparation journey, or just as a side hustle, or whatever the case may be. So in that, I want you guys to know that we're going to replace those limiting beliefs tonight with empowering beliefs. Furthermore, I want you to know that these limiting beliefs come from somewhere, right? So me, for instance, mine would be when I was first starting out, that everybody does taxes, right? However, I had to say to myself, well, where does that come from? And where it comes from in me is that during my childhood, I was raised to be an asset. Okay. I was raised to always be an asset for whatever room I stepped in, whatever person I'm dealing with. And so that in turn, as an adverse reaction, caused me to be a people pleaser. And so in business, what I would do is I would overgive, right? And I wouldn't expect my worth to come back to me in revenue, when that's something that you don't really want to do out here in these streets, right? And so I want to help you guys understand how these limiting beliefs may come up. So I want you guys to put one limiting belief down in the chat. Let me know if I told you, hey, you can make $10,000 in 30 days. What's the first thought you're going to have is, oh, I'd like to know more about that. But immediately after that, when I say you can make $10,000 in 30 days, what is going to go off in your head? I want to know what limiting beliefs come up. So I'm going to allow you guys to put that in the chat while I'm talking. And I'm going to start talking about the empowering beliefs, right? So we're going to go ahead and transmute those over to empowering beliefs. And we're going to stop the broken record that's replaying in our heads about our limiting beliefs, and we're going to replace that voice with the empowering beliefs. So the first one, I'm new, I won't get clients. Let's replace that with I'm trustworthy and I'm fully committed to learning everything I need to learn for my craft so that I can be of value to my clients and they can trust me, right? I can't juggle my job and my business. Let's replace that with I have total control over my entrepreneurial schedule. So if I am working, that's okay, because I still have weekends, or I still have 2 days out the week that I don't have to show up to my job, right? Or maybe I go to work early enough so when I get off, I can still talk to people before 6 p.m., right? So you have total control over your entrepreneurial schedule. Everybody does taxes. Well, guess what? Millions of people need their taxes filed every day. In fact, this is a regenerative cycle. New people are being born every day. New people are joining the workforce every day. New people are becoming adults every day. And so there's always going to be millions of people who need their taxes filed. Okay. And lastly, I can't take anyone seeing me fail. Well, guess what? These people do not pay my bills. Bottom line, they don't pay my bills. So why am I concerned about how they feel anyway? I couldn't care less. They're not raising my children. They're not paying my bills. They're not checking on me on a daily basis. Who cares what they think, right? So we're going to change and we're going to shift how we feel about making the money, about charging our worth, about getting new clients into something that is more empowering. And so I'm going to go through here in the chat real quick. Kimaya says, and I hope I'm saying that correctly. Kimaya says, I'm in a small town. Girl, even better. Because guess what? You're really going to stand out. Let's see. Is it legal? Okay. What if this really does work? Okay. It is legal. It is 100% legal, baby. And it really does work. And I do have some tax professionals who are already on tonight. You guys can tell her in the chat, is it true? Does it really work? Will it happen in 30 days? It can happen in less than 30 days. But I really wanted to set a realistic bar. I didn't want to promise the standard, oh, you can make 100K, and different things like that, because I want it to be attainable. Right? Everybody, I want to be inclusive. That's what I'm trying to say. Because is it possible to get $100,000 in 90 days or 105 days? Absolutely. People do it year after year after year. And some people have done it their first year as tax professionals. But it does not happen for the vast majority of us. And so I want to make sure that I'm inclusive with this goal so that I can make sure that you guys don't, I don't scare you guys away. Okay. I want to, if I'm going to guarantee something, I want to stand behind my guarantee. I can guarantee you that what I'm about to teach you is going to bring you into $10,000 in the next 30 days. If you apply, you have to follow the blueprint. Now, let me make sure I put that out there. You have to follow the blueprint. Okay. If you don't follow the blueprint, I can't help you. Okay. So now I need you guys to put your equally empowering beliefs in the chat. I won't get the clients. People support whom they want. Okay. It's a popularity contest, right? But guess what? With increased visibility to the right audience, you'll be popular too. We're on the R now, and we're researching and we're immersing ourselves. So I just have a little picture over here to the side to show you guys how social proof works. What you want to do is make sure that you are not only collecting information, but you're also leveraging it. So I was telling you guys that when I'm learning more information, I immediately start thinking about content. And if we're talking about in-person, content will be translated into talking points, conversation pieces, right? So the information that I'm learning, as I'm learning it, I'm already framing my captions in my head, or I'm just at least pulling out topics that I'm going to create content around. Okay. And so that's going to stop you from lurking and start you with leading. Okay. Because we want you to be a thought leader. We want you to lead in your business as if it's yours, because it belongs to you. Right. And this is a master class, right? So I hope you all are learning something. And I hope you all are ready to learn, right? Because I'm going to always be dropping gems throughout when I talk. So the O stands for organizing your systems. You want to build before the flood. Okay. I'm going to tell you guys how it feels to go viral and not have a funnel set up. It's nerve-wracking because you literally have 28,000 views. You literally have 500,000 views, and you got all that traffic to your page for what? You didn't make a dime off of it because you don't have the funnel set up already, right? So we want to make sure that we organize systems before we even get to a point that we are accepting clients. So you may be a new tax pro, you may not yet be a tax pro and are looking to become one. And in that, we're going to help you make sure that those systems are organized. For instance, if you guys were, again, I favor the action takers. If you guys were on the email list towards the beginning of the time that I started running this campaign, you guys would have gotten your full intake packet for free in your inbox, right? Because I want you guys to get started now. I want you guys to get started now. That's how I am, right? So for me, one of those systems that are really important is your client intake system, right? And so here's a quick example of a 6-step SOP that I would be able to quickly hand off to an assistant who's helping me in my business, or a partner, or anybody that's capable of hitting these steps that are in this 6-step checklist, right? And so in organizing that system, what if I skipped over number 4 and number 5? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is very real to tax professionals. Number 1, we get a new client consultation. Number 2, we interview the client and we take the notes. Number 3, we send them an intake packet. I normally do that while I'm on the call with them during the interview. So by the time they get off the call with me, they can start filling out that packet, right? But what if I don't review and cross-reference the intake packet and I don't note the discrepancies? Guess what's going to happen? I'm going to take the information that I receive in the intake packet and I'm going to get started filing. I'm going to open up my software and I'm going to start that tax return, put their social security number in, put all of their information in. And then when I get to the W-2s, I'm going to say, now Ms. Johnson told me she had 3 jobs, but now I'm looking in the intake packet and I only have 2 W-2s. So now I have to pause what I'm doing. I have to track Miss Johnson down. And then at that point, I've lost control of the interaction because I'm putting the ball back in Miss Johnson's court and I have to wait on her. Well, guess what? It could be 3 days. It could be 3 weeks before Miss Johnson provides me with that third W-2. And now I'm sitting here with a file that is in the back of my head, right? And if I don't have a system in place to follow up, then I'm not going to remember about Miss Johnson's file, right? So now she's lost in the sauce. I've lost the client and I've lost money and I've lost time, okay? So we don't want that to happen. We want to make sure that we have organized systems before the flood, okay? And again, entrepreneurship is going to be the biggest or one of the biggest faith-based ministries in my opinion. So if that's the case, let me create the bucket so that it can be filled. I'm already treating it as if I have these clients, even though I haven't gotten my first one. So now I'm going to help you find your dream clients. You're going to use your brand to attract these people. I know you've heard the term dream clients before, and I'm not trying to be funny, but I really think I was the first person to talk about it. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. Y'all might have friends that might have dream client, whatever, but guess what? I was talking about it a long time ago. So I'm going to say this, though. Branding does not stop at your logos and your fonts. A lot of people love to talk about, oh, my brand this, my brand that. It doesn't stop there. Branding has everything to do with your brand voice. It has everything to do with your target audience. It has everything to do with your client avatar, your business plan, how you speak to people, the tone of your brand, the vibe of your brand, everything, right? And that does also include your logos and your fonts. But what's really important is when you are looking at your target audience, okay, these are going to be the people that you are targeting to sell to. When you're talking to those people, you want to make sure you know this person, and I'm using this as a singular format, this person down to the socks. And the reason why I say that is because you're going to leverage everything you know about that person and translate that over into how your brand speaks to them. So they always say, all the gurus will say, hey, you need to know your target audience, but they don't tell you why you need to know that, right? I need to know that I'm dealing with moms so that I can talk to them about mom stuff. I need to know that this mom is between 35 and 45, so I'm not talking to a 20-year-old mom the way that I'm talking to a 35, 45-year-old mom. I need to know that this mom likes to frequent certain bars or certain nightclubs or whatever so that I can position my business in proximity to what it is that she frequents. I need to know that this mom shows up on social media and on Facebook and TikTok so that I'm meeting her with my brand on that platform, right? I need to know this mom's buying habits so that I can position my brand and my checkout process to mimic other checkout processes that are easy for her to complete, right? And so when you understand these things about your target audience and really just your dream client avatar, which is a singular person, you can give that person a name and you can put a persona with that person, and then you can build your brand around that person. A lot of times people are saying, I don't know who my dream client is, right? I don't know how to come up with that. Well, we're going to help you do that. We're going to help you find out who your dream client is if you don't already have it, because what it's going to do is it's going to take you from talking to a target audience to the dream client. It's going to take you from envisioning things to actually living the dream interaction. It's going to take you from one service to loyalty and retention for that particular client type. So if my client's name is Ashley, then there are 3 million other Ashleys out there just like her. Yes, Ashley is unique, but she has some similarities that very many other Ashleys may have. So I'm talking to one Ashley at a time. I'm not talking to Ashley, Brenda, Jessica, Elena. I'm not talking to all of them. I'm talking to Ashley. So when you're thinking about who your dream client is, you want to pick one person and one profile for them. And we help you build that out with your tax branding 101 class. Okay. So you want to make sure that you are able to attract your dream clients with a solid brand. All right. The next, let's see, we're on F. We're going to move over to I. We want to increase our visibility. Okay. So we want to show up to the right people, though. Not only do we want to show up, we want to show up to the right people. So as it stands, a lot of times you're spending time talking to one person, and then that one person maybe has 2 people in their network that they can refer your services to. But we want to make it to where we're talking to many people at one time, and then they can have 2 more people, each of them, to add to your network. So instead of talking to 3 people, you're talking to 9 people, right? And how we do that is through events or social media. Okay, so if you're in person, then events is going to get you a situation where you're able to show up to many people at one time. If you're on social media, you know that basically social media is free up until the point that you're running ads. And I encourage you guys to max the free out before you start to pay for ads. I want you guys to build a strong organic brand first, unless, right, you have a tried and true ads guru, which we do have in our back pocket, and we will be able to help you guys with that if you don't want to build that brand. Because some people want to be faceless, and that's no problem. We just need to make sure we know who you want as your target audience, and we need to know who you're targeting. That way we can build that persona out for you, and then those targeted ads can meet the right people and get in front of them the amount of times that is necessary for you to achieve those revenue goals. In increased visibility, I have a matrix here for you guys to understand what types of clients are available in the tax industry as far as profiles go. And if you guys want to tell me in the chat, which type of clients do you resonate with? So we're going to start here with the refund heavy clients. As you can see, the way that our chart flows is the higher it is in the chart, the more value and complexity you have to deal with that client. So if it's going further to the right side, then this is going to be more revenue potential for you. Okay. So we're going to start with refund heavy clients. These people are the lowest on the pole for value and complexity, and they're also the lowest revenue potential. Okay. Does that mean that we won't treat our clients with stellar service? Absolutely not. We're going to treat everybody with stellar service. However, this is just a different type of client. It's going to be more high volume, right? Meaning it's going to be more clients at one time. You're going to charge lower fees to compete with other people who are assisting refund heavy clients. You're going to receive quick wins in dealing with these clients because there's so many of them. And this is going to be a quantity driven audience. Okay. They're going to love the fact that they can come in and get that great value, get that convenience, get that quickness, and then they're off to do the next. Ultimately, you're probably only going to be spending time with this client once per year. Okay. But that's only if you don't know how to extract loyalty and retention out of this type of client. The next client that we're going to move on to is our niche clients. They are higher in value and complexity, right? So it's going to take for you to be a little bit more savvy, but and they also bring in more revenue than our refund heavy clients. But when you are dealing with a niche client, I want you guys to understand something. If I could think of Jack Nichols, right? Okay, y'all, I was born in 88. Okay, cat's out the bag. I was born in 88. Okay. If I could think of Jack Nichols, he's always going to play the villain. He's been typecasted, right? I mean, he hasn't done movies in a long time, but he's been typecasted. Okay, so we know that anytime or majority of the time that we see Jack Nichols, he's going to be a villain in whatever show or movie that he's in, because that's the role that he plays. He also has a face for it, right? So imagine that being your brand, and you say, I work with truck drivers, or I work with beauty professionals, or I work with travel nurses. You are going to niche down to a point where that is just who you service. And when you're done dealing with truck drivers, travel nurses, or whomever, you're going to need to basically rebrand and repackage your brand so that you can start to speak to other people. Okay, so niche clients is not a bad thing. I just want you guys to understand what you're up against when you're working with these different client types. Niche clients are going to be specific for industries. Now, this is good for someone that's transitioning from an employee to an entrepreneur, because whatever your whatever industry you were working in as an employee, the expertise that you develop there, you'll be able to understand more when you get into the taxes side of things and the financial side of things behind that particular industry, right? So it'll be a smoother transition for you. For instance, I'm a beauty professional. So I started out as a beauty professional, I'm a retired esthetician now, but when I was a beauty professional, when I decided to do taxes, that's where my target audience was, because I knew how to speak the language, I knew how to talk to them, right? I've since expanded to other clients, but it was easy for me to get into the market and actually tap into a audience that I already knew was warm and trusted me. Okay. Moving on to the self-employed people. Our self-employed people are going to give you more revenue potential, but it's not as complex as what niche clients may be, right? In some cases, and I'm saying that loosely because really, truthfully, it could be right up there with the niche clients depending on how complex their tax return is. But for the sake of what we're talking about tonight, I just put them a little bit lower here between refund heavy and niche clients as far as value and complexity. They're gonna just need moderate value. Okay, they are going to have more complex issues because we're going to need to ask them about their income and expenses and how they allocated those funds and some of the things that they did that were ordinary and necessary for their business. But we're going to make sure that we have all of that laid out for you all so you don't miss a beat. These people need guidance. They need a little hand holding because they are the talent and they're paying you to be the back end for them. They don't have time, nor do they have the interest to know about taxes. Okay. So, in that, they're going to need more guidance on how to deal with their money. And then there's huge growth potential. So, as your client grows in their business, you'll be able to grow with them. So, that's why it's always important to continue to research and immerse, right? Going back to that art in the profits model. Okay. You want to make sure that you're continually researching and immersing yourself in the industries that your clients are in, or in what is next for your particular or the weight of your clientele. Okay. High income individuals are going to be the top of the totem pole. They're going to be the most value and the most complex, and they're going to give you the most revenue. So that's why we got them all the way out here. Okay. These people expect premium pricing, but they don't want to be involved in the process for the most part. You got to handle everything. And because they are high income clients, this gives you the opportunity to preside over their finances. So then you're moving over into a role of what would you call it? A fractional CFO, a bookkeeper or an accountant that they have on payroll, a tax professional that they have on retainer, right? A business consultant that they have on retainer. Okay. So you're going to know everything about their business anyway. So you won't need to hold hands with them to understand what's happening with the landscape of their taxes, unless it's something that they did not account for. And so you have no record of it. You would need to make sure that you're on top of that value for them. And then it's also going to require more precise execution. Okay. So making sure that you handle their tax situation flawlessly and it goes off without a hitch. Which one is you guys' favorite type of client? Oh, we got somebody that already asked in the chat. Let's see. I don't like serving married couples. You know what? Michelle said they're fun. It depends. if their communication is good, then I'm okay with married couples, because I actually have some where really the wife handles everything regarding the taxes and stuff like that, and then I speak to her husband, but for the most part that's just the interview, and then after that we're good to go. But they got a pretty solid marriage. They're an older couple, so it's not really a lot of drama. But I could see, because I did have a couple where the husband would go file his taxes and not tell the wife, and then we wouldn't find out till later, and she didn't know whether she was supposed to be doing married filing separately or jointly, so she would just choose single, y'all. And I was like, girl, you cannot do that. So it was a lot. But if they're a solid couple and the communication is great, I'm okay with servicing married couples. What I do love my self-employed people, and I do love my niche clients. I'm not even gonna lie. Because I have an opportunity to grow with them. And because some of the service that I also offer as a tax professional just goes hand in hand with what they need as far as like tax advisory. So if I need to structure their entity for them, if I need to renew their business entity for them, if I need to work on their personal credits so that they can be in position for business credit, these are the clients that I can create the longest relationship with outside of my high income earners. I'm not gonna lie, the high income earners that I've gotten a hold of lately are new high income earners, and they can be kind of annoying sometimes because they still have like refund heavy values over here, but they got money up here. And so you're like, I need you to come from here to here. And they kind of have a hard time doing that. So I would say if I was gonna like a high income earning client, it would be one that understands that they need help and that they need to make a change. All right. So the T in profit stands for tracking your leads. We need you to continue the interaction off of social media. We need you to continue the interaction away from in person, right? So how are we going to do that? You can only do that if you track your leads. Okay. If you don't keep up with your leads, you're not going to tap into your gold mine source frequently. You're not going to know the location of where your clients are in their journey with you. You're not going to keep in touch. You're not going to follow up, and you're not going to be able to extract that loyalty out of them. Okay. And so what I want you guys to understand is that when you have a gold mine resource, don't stop tapping it. Keep hitting that resource because the clients are there. Can you venture out into new markets? Right? Yes, absolutely. But don't forget your current market. Okay. Unless your business model changes, or unless your client base or client type changes and you need to rebrand, you want to continue to hit that gold mine source. So for instance, if you know that social media is a place where you earn most of your clients, don't forget it. You better keep going there. It's not time to start throwing spaghetti at the wall. That's something that works in your business, so you need to continually do that in your business. Okay. What I mean by journey location is, where are these clients in the process of being closed? These potential clients, because they're leads now, right? Where are they in the process of being closed? Are they in the consideration stage? Have they made a decision and just haven't paid? Do they need more information, right? Is it not the right time? Okay. These are questions that will help you extract where they are in their buyer's journey for you. This is what's going to help you understand where that client is in their buyer's journey, so that you'll know how far you are from closing them or what it will take to close them. Okay. So when I'm talking to a client that say, okay, this is what's really important about follow-ups. Okay, I want you guys to understand this. What if I have a client that is literally, hold on guys, literally ready to purchase or check out, and I don't follow up with them? What's going to happen? I want to see if somebody is thinking like I'm thinking in the chat. What's going to happen if I have a client that's ready to buy, but I don't follow up with them? They go somewhere else. Yes, who is that? That's Takia. Takia, you just want a one-on-one with me. All right. So yes, they are going to go somewhere else. As soon as they are ready to buy, you need to be like, boom, 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 just like Fashion Nova, knocking on your text messages. Hey, before you spend that money somewhere else, spend it right here, right? So if we don't stay top of mind with our clients when they get the money to be able to pay us, something else is going to take precedence. That's where you get the people pay for what they want. No, they pay for what's in front of them. They pay for what is constantly reminding them. Okay. So I want you guys to make sure that you understand the fortune of the follow up. Okay. Also, you get to keep in touch. Keeping in touch, yes, ultimately is going to translate into money, right? But this is going to help build the relationship because I want to extract more of your network out of you. I want to use you. I want your network to be become my network, right? So if I keep in touch with you, that's how I build a relationship with you. That's how I get to know you, right? And then finally, loyalty. Loyalty, again, that comes from them being a sphere of influence in their inner circle and being able to bring other people along, or you being able to upsell this person into the next part of their journey with you. So if you don't understand where they are in their journey, you're not going to know any of these things. The S, this is the last one. Scaling to the next level. You're going to analyze, adapt, rinse, and repeat. So I'm going to say this for my people in the back because not enough business owners do this. You need to analyze, adapt, rinse, and repeat. You don't know what worked in your business, what didn't work, and what can be done better because you're too busy catching all the plays and throwing spaghetti at the wall trying to see what sticks. That is not how that works. That is not sustainable business. What it is hustle masked as poverty, okay? So I want you guys to stop doing that. What I want you to do today, if you're already a business owner, if you're already an entrepreneur, I need you to analyze the last 90 days in your business. You need to go to your social media and look at your analytics. You need to go to your business bank account and look at what your income and expenses are. You need to go to your payment processor and see what was your highest selling item, okay? And what was your lowest selling item, okay? You need to analyze your people and their performance if you have a team. Okay. You need to analyze your performance as a CEO. Okay. These are things that you guys need to do. That Keep in Touch has me brainstorm. Kiera, get in touch with them folks. What we could be talking about right now in this part of the year is prepping them for those late filers who filed extensions. Go ahead and catch up with them. Everybody's not going to go to the original preparer that they filed an extension with. So you can go ahead and start racking up on those. Go ahead and run you a campaign, girl. All right. So we need to analyze what worked in our business because we need to do more of that. Again, remember I said if you found a gold mine, you need to do more of that. You need to continue to talk to that gold mine. You need to continue to tap that resource because that worked in your business. Okay. What didn't work? Was it that play that you ran last week where you got 2 measly sales and it really didn't convert and nothing really happened? We're not going to do no more of that. Okay. We done with that one. We're done with that play. So we're going to put that over there. And then we're going to talk about what can be done better, meaning I got some traction. I see the potential. I see the growth, but it's not all the way there yet. I need to tweak a few things. So this quarter, instead of me doing this again the same way, I'm going to tweak it and improve it, and then I'm going to do it again, right? And so when you do that, you're going to have repeatable, actionable success inside of your business because you're only repeating what worked. Right? This is how you become scalable. I know you guys can kind of see how I got my little Russian nested dollar signs right here, right? The same dollar sign, just exponentially bigger, bigger, and bigger. This is what happens when you scale. But what if this was a train wreck? What if what if instead of dollar signs, these were dumpster fires, right? You would get a small dumpster fire, then a bigger dumpster fire, and the biggest, the final boss dumpster fire when you decide to scale to $1 million, right? And everything is breaking. So I want you guys to understand that you can't scale from chaos. Whatever is already present in your business, you need to fix it at that level before you scale to the next level because you're going to just repeat it, but on a larger scale. Okay. And so that's what happens when you scale chaos. You go from a small dumpster fire to a really big one, or you go from a small amount of revenue to a really, really big amount of revenue. And so this acronym profits that I gave you guys today, you are able to start that with your smallest revenue, or if you're already making revenue, you can go ahead and tuck it in there and start implementing that in your business. And then you can scale that and bloom it out to even bigger revenue. All you have to do is 10x what you're doing, right? 10x what worked, 10x what didn't work, and 10x what can be done better. Simple, right? So that's my proven framework. How did y'all like my framework? Because we're not done. Okay. We want to talk about the money. But before we talk about the money, I want to know how you guys like my framework. Was it something that you were able to absorb? Was it something that resonated with you? If you're already a business owner, which part of that framework do you feel you need the most help in? Because this is going to be real important. That's a full-on framework. It's a closed framework, meaning there are no gaps in it, there are no loops, there are no leaks. Okay, so if you implement that framework, you are going to be able to hit your goals. Kimaya said my problem is consistency. Okay, no problem. When we were talking earlier, we touched on motivations. Instead of motivation, you need to develop a baseline of consistency. And what that means, okay, is going to be, hey, this is the capacity that Kimaya can execute to. So if Kimaya can do, and when I say baseline consistency, that means whatever is happening in your life, okay, whatever that may be, you're still going to be able to hit these metrics, right? So say if it's posting, say if your baseline of consistency is I can only post 3 times a week. If that's your baseline of consistency, that means that some weeks Kimaya may post 10 times a week, but at its lowest, she's going to post 3 times a week. Okay. Same thing with your sales goals. Same thing with your follow-ups. If Kimaya knows that on her worst days, right, she might be having cramps, might be in the bed not feeling good, that she can only follow up with one client, you need to start and make that a habit first, because we deal in realism over here. I'm not going to blow smoke up you guys' behinds and make you feel like you are a superwoman, okay? Because I laid my cape down a long time ago, and I'm not living. I'm not doing the survival thing. I want to live in my truth, and I want to be peaceful in it. Okay. And so if my baseline of consistency is that, well, right now, Patrice, you only have the capacity to follow up with one person a day, then let it be that. And when I want more, I'll do more. But let's go ahead and develop the habit first. Mine is consistency and the ability to revamp and repeat successfully. Okay. So when you find something that works in your business, Mahogany, keep running it. Don't continually switch things up. If you want to repackage it, do that. But the ultimate goal needs to be what worked. That way you're not continually doing new things and confusing your audience. Because the more that you introduce newness to your audience without cultivating that new thing and helping them understand what's happening in your business, they fall off and they go follow somebody else for mediocrity. Like, oh my God. When I tell y'all consistency beats talent any day, I don't care how talented, how smart, how rich you are. If you're not consistent, I'm telling you, the consistent people are going to beat your sales every day, all day long. Okay. Crystal says, diving more into my analytics. Y'all don't check them enough. They gonna tell your business. Let me tell y'all, when I was an executive at Macy's, you guys remember when I was talking about that? When we first got on, I didn't have to go downstairs to look at my team. I knew what they were doing from their numbers. I could tell who was standing around. I could tell who was running their mouth. I could tell what counter they were standing at or what area they were in most of the time because of what they sold the most. So if I had a heavy hitter diamond client, somebody that was selling diamonds in the jewelry counter all the time, I knew that they were positioned right there at that diamond case all the time because they sold majority diamonds. So where else would they be in the bay, right? If I had somebody that sold a particular perfume and it was off the chain, I knew that they were positioned at the Dior bay. Your numbers can tell you everything. If I know that particular post, if I go look at my analytics, I'm gonna tell you guys a real quick way to look at your analytics. If I go look at my analytics on Facebook right now, I'm going to go see where those spikes are, because it got a little up and down chart or whatever. So where it's a really huge spike, I'm going to see what day that was. Okay, that was June 25th. What was I talking about on that day? What did I say that day? And I'm going to go to my timeline to see what happened on June 25th. Did I share a flyer? What were the words that I used? Who was I talking to? What was it that drove all of that visibility to my page, right? And that's going to help me understand what I need to do more of. And then on those days where I have a dip and it's like nothing's happening, okay, I don't want to do that no more. What was I talking about on that day? Okay, maybe I didn't have enough energy that day. Maybe I didn't have enough visuals that day, right? I need to bring that number up. Okay, so that's how I will review my analytics really quickly. It goes way deeper than that, but that's just something that you guys can use. Imposter syndrome will rear its ugly head sometimes. It sure will, baby. I be having it. I still have it sometimes. Not even gonna lie. 15 years in as an entrepreneur, and I still have imposter syndrome come up. All right, so the roadmap to your revenue. If you follow the blueprint in profits, then you're going to achieve the results. In taxes, if you want to achieve $10,000, you only need about 37 clients. If I did have the objection to say, is this even possible or legal? I would say you need one client a day for a month and a week, and you will hit your goal with a 60% overhead investment. Okay. For credit clients, you only need 30 credit clients at $3. I'm sorry, $399. Okay. And it is a $60 investment, because you will need to make sure that their letters go out certified mail with receipt, right? And we do all of that from the comfort of our own homes. I don't go to the post office and mail out letters, just FYI. And I'm never going to teach you to do that. Not to say that that's wrong. And some people like the person to person interaction, but I'm going to save on gas. I'm going to save on my attitude, because sometimes the mail people be acting funky. I don't know. I would just rather do everything in one setting, right? And so you can send those letters out via online. Okay. So, and they need to be certified mail return receipt. We are all pajama professionals. Yes, period. I love it. Clock it, clock it. Okay, so we got with 30 clients in credit, you are going to get $10,000. Just boom. This is all yours. There's no 60% overhead investment. You guys would take all of this home yourself, right? But what if you mixed it? Because see, I like to work smarter, not harder, because right, we're all moms, right? We're moms. So if I'm a mom, I had to make sure that the systems that I put together were not only repeatable and easy to follow, but something that I could do on the fly and wouldn't take up too much time. So when I start thinking about things, I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up. Okay. So I'm gonna knock two skills off at once. I'm gonna do taxes and I'm gonna do credit. So in that, I'm only gonna need 20 tax returns. Okay, at $499. And this is just a base price, guys. $499 on average, because it could be higher. And then if you're running a promotion, it could be lower. And this is going to cover my 60% investment over for my overhead, right? So I'm going to be looking at $5,988 for 20 returns. But out of those 20 returns that I do, on my intake form, I'm already asking these people, do you need your credit repaired? So I'm going to know before the big drop even happens, which is the tax refund. That's lingo in the tax world for refunds dropping or refund payments being dispersed, right? So before the big drop happens, I'm already going to know 10 of these people are going to need their credit done, because they've already told me on their intake form, and I made sure that I solidified it during the interview, right? Just to let them know. And I let them know, hey, don't listen, this is what you're going to do with your refund money. Just give me a portion of that and we're going to get this credit, right? And so then, and this is just a hypothetical price, y'all. You could charge more, you could be running a promo to charge less, but these are good numbers here. And we're going to send out those letters, certified return receipt, and I'm going to get $3,390 out of 10 of the clients that I've already filed return for. So I am implementing loyalty with these clients. Not only am I implementing loyalty, I'm upselling them, right? But guess what? I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to get reviews too. So once I do all of this, that's going to bring me to $9,378, which means I only need 2 more credit clients to hit my goal. Okay. And so can this be done in 30 days? Absolutely, because we're talking about a client a day plus 2 with this particular formula. And so, excuse me, when I said that you guys can start making money right now, even if you are still learning about taxes and you're still getting into the business, you can get started with credit immediately. The system that we have, you can get started with it immediately. So how are we going to get there? How are we going to help you get there? By positioning your mindset, research and immersing yourself in the industry, organizing your systems, finding dream clients, increasing your visibility, tracking leads, and scaling with intention. How are we going to help you do all of that? We are going to be able to do that through dedicated support, advanced tools, sound resources, and world-class mentorship. Did you guys like the masterclass so far? All right. And you're going to get so much more. Okay. Because I'm a dynamic speaker. I like to have conversations with my mentees and my students. I like to work with people. I love when you guys have aha moments and something stuck out to you. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to put in the chat what stuck out to you today during our time together. Not only will you have all of those things, but you'll have access to the 1028 Tax Pro Hub. Here is where we get the business, okay? We are able to teach our basic tax professionals from beginning to end, our seasoned tax professionals, and even some of our 6 and 7 figure tax professionals as well, okay? So you're going to get world-class information in these trainings. Also, you're going to get access to our law-backed credit repair system built for closers. So you can go ahead and start talking about getting credit clients. Now, if you really know that you want to work with me, you can literally swipe your screen over, go over to Facebook and let these people know that you offer credit repair right now. You'll also be invited to the AFSP lock-in. This is happening in December 1st through the 12th. We will have group study sessions. We will have group testing days. You'll be able to get 18 continuing education hours for the IRS. You'll be listed and registered on the IRS RPO directory, which is the list of registered preferred tax professionals and those with credentials and qualifications. Okay. So when clients are actually trying to find a credible tax professional, they can go to this website for the IRS and your name will appear there with your city and state. So if they're looking for a tax professional in their area that the IRS deems credible, then your name has an opportunity to come up. Okay. This is just another way for you to win those comment wars. So as soon as somebody says, I need my taxes done, what are you going to do? You're going to tell them you do taxes. But not only that, you're going to post a flyer. Okay. You're going to post a link. And you're going to let them know that you're IRS registered, okay? Because that's just another marketing point for you. In fact, it's so much so important to me that all of my partners have to take the AFSP and the AFTR. AFSP stands for Annual Filing Season Program. AFTR stands for Annual Federal Tax Refresher. Yes. And then you guys will get the recordings included, okay? Who said that's far? I try a little bit, Marika. Okay, so also, guess what? Whatever connection you think you have to make, I already made it for you. All right, we already got tax resolution people on our team. We already got EAs. We already got that thought of. We already got tax advisory thought of. We already got bookkeeping thought of. We already got business inception. You don't have to turn down a client. Okay, because all you need to know is how to accept that client. When they come to you with particular problems, you can put a pin in it. Don't ever tell them, ooh, that's out of my scope. Because it's not out of the scope of the team that you work with. You already have a team. You already have a team. So you don't have to turn down a client. If they say, oh, I got letters in the mail from the IRS and I don't know what to do, just say, okay, I'm going to get you over to our tax resolution specialist. And then you're going to text me or you're going to call me and we're going to pick that client up for you and you'll still be able to make money off of that client. Okay. So we're not leaving any money on the table for anybody. You don't have to turn your clients down anymore. And lastly, you will get advanced marketing support. I see an issue in the marketplace where people are not designing to tax professionals and credit professionals expectations, and not because the designs aren't pretty, but they're not speaking to their target audience. You're going to be dealing with our in-house designer that understands sales and marketing and copy. Okay, so they're going to know the lingo on the business and what happens behind the scenes. That way they can talk specifically to your target audience. Not only that, you're going to be able to provide your designer with your Tax Pro branding workbook, and that's going to have your entire brand laid out so they know what language you're working with. They know what your brand colors are already. They already know what fonts you want to see on your flyers. They already know what elements to put on there, right? And so they're going to create you custom elements that match your brand colors and a custom voice that matches your brand's voice to speak to and attract those clients that you want in your business. Okay, so you will have access to advanced marketing support as well. So I want to know again how we're going to help you get there through profits and everything else that we offer. Not only that, I want to know who's ready to get started today. Who's ready to change their life? Who's ready to be better in their tax business? I want to know in the chat. I want to know what was an aha moment. Let me go up in the chat because y'all been talking and I ain't said nothing. What is something that stood out to you that you learned today? Because even you could say, hey, I know all of this. But besides what stuck out to you today, what are you getting ready to do? Because even if you know all of this, are you doing all of it? That's the question. Honestly, just a push to get up and go. Get it if you really want it. Period, Kamaya. That's, I mean, bottom line, because nobody's gonna come to save you. I'm gonna be frank with you, just like I have to be frank with myself, and I have to put my big girl panties on, right? Nobody is coming to save you. You promised yourself a lifestyle. You promised your children, if you're a mother, a lifestyle, right? And how are you going to make that happen? It's, as an entrepreneur, you can pay for growth in one or two ways. The first way is time and experience. Time and experience cost a lot because you can fail and you have to go through a period of dusting yourself back off and getting back on the horse. Or you can pay for sound mentorship, right? Where we can collapse time. So instead of what took me from 2019 to 2025 to achieve, I've already laid it out for you in less than 2 hours, right? And so being able to get up and get back on that horse and keep going is so much more easier, and it's super important for you to do as an entrepreneur. Let's see. Someone said the breakdown of income stood out. Seeing numbers always motivate. Yes, because we talking to them pockets. We talking to that growth. We're laying it out so that it's visible and attainable for you all. Okay, branding is important, beyond important. So many people negate it daily. It don't even make sense. Being at home, my babies is priceless. End of story. Okay, do y'all know I haven't held a actual job since 2020? Visibility and consistency beats popularity always. It sure does. How simple it is as long as you do the work, period. Because I'm not taking nobody that's lazy. I'm not taking nobody that's going to let their circumstances speak louder to them than their success does. Okay, we like to produce. We like to progress with a heart of gratitude. I don't care if it's the smallest blessing in your life. Whatever your circumstances are yelling at you, let those blessings whisper to you until you are strong enough to keep going. Okay, and that's how we operate. All right, so if you are ready today, I got an offer for you. If you're ready to learn taxes, learn credit, learn marketing, learn branding, and so much more from a credible, results-driven program tailored just for you, class starts on September 2nd. Okay. So I need you guys to be in the building. All right. And so what I have done for you guys, instead of the normal $199, I brought it down for you to $125. And I also have where you guys are able to pay that in full, but you have other payment option as well. And I'm not sure if that link is already here in the chat, but I want to go ahead and open up the floor to answer any questions that you guys may have. So you guys can go ahead and unmute. If I did not answer your question that you may have had while I was speaking, I want to go ahead and answer it for you now, or if you have some more questions. Dimitri said, what if I already have tax software and just interested in credit? I have an option for you. So I do have a credit mentorship. And if you need the link for that, I'll go ahead and get that to you. Let's see who else says all your confidence and skills. Oh, thank you, Takia. Well, we're definitely going to have a conversation. I'm going to get that booking link out to you separately. Everybody that purchases today will get a one-on-one with me. But Takia won hers today. Let's see. Who is that? Crystal said, yes, I'm interested in credit as well. Okay. I just put the link in the chat for you. Everything was informative. I'm glad that you guys think so. Yes, I have my own software as I'm new. I'm a new service. Congratulations. So what will be my cost for mentorship, or can we discuss when we do our one-on-one? We will be discussing everything for you in your one-on-one. And what will happen in your one-on-one, Takia, is you're actually going to get, let me ask you this, Takia, what, you can come off mute too. If you're okay with your background, I'm fine with it, but if not, it's fine. Let's see.
Yes, I'm off.
Okay. All right. Takia, how many years have you been doing taxes?
I've been doing taxes over 15 years. But I was
Ooh.
working for someone, under someone, but I came into my own brand maybe like 2, 3 years ago.
Okay. All right. And what's been working for you so far? Like what is something in your business that's been working really well for you?
Well, the consistency, because of my consistency, even though I was working under someone else for all those years, the consistency is
Mhm.
what has brought me the clients, and the clients have brought me other clients. So it's been word of mouth and consistency.
Okay, great. And so what's something that you feel you need assistance with in your business, or you could be doing better?
The marketing,
Mhm.
like the scaling, because I'm a new service bureau, trying to get my software out there to where it can be sold, growing my team. Um, and I guess what I wrote down, you gotta excuse me, I have a cold.
All right,
Um,
that's fine. I'm just not getting over mine.
like tracking my leads and increasing my visibility.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah,
So, when we do your one-on-one, what comes with the one-on-one is a CEO roadmap.
okay,
And I'm only giving you the CEO roadmap because of where you are in your business. You're not a newbie, right? And
right,
so you are going to need more regarding like hierarchy and organization. You're going to need more regarding separating your brand and having sub brands so that you're able to market effectively, and also categorizing your actual leads and your audiences, right? Because one audience is tax clients, another audience is tax professionals, right? And
right,
so you can't market to both of them on the same channel, under the same profile or page, because you'll confuse your audience. Okay. And so
yes.
we don't want that to happen. So you need to have a sub brand or sub brands to help support those different audience styles. Also, as far as tracking those leads, that'll be part of tracking those leads. As far as marketing, are you not getting the clients that you typically want to have?
Um, I mean, this season I did pretty well, considering. So I just want to make sure that I'm getting out there, that and now that I'm growing my team, I want to kind of make sure that I'm being seen in other places besides, I guess, social media, um,
Mhm.
on Facebook, because I'm not like haven't gotten really with the TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that yet.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. We can help you with in person and online. I always am going to be an advocate for online because online can account for at least 50% revenue of your business. Or if you're doing 100% in person, you can add another 50% in revenue to your business just from social media, especially because it's wide open and free. So you get maximum visibility there. But we do have strategies for in person as well, as online. So we can definitely help with that. So we will talk more about exactly what your needs are. And I'm going to try to pinpoint some ways that you could be implementing additional revenue. And we're probably going to reconfigure your revenue stack to support all of the sub brands, the products and services that you will need to offer, to help you reach those income goals. And by the way, what is your number for, like what do you want to reach by 2026 in revenue?
Oh, want to okay, realistically, I
Mhm.
want to come as close to with my team at six figures as possible. If not, then I'm comfortable with, whatever. Not whatever, but
We don't do comfort.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm my vision, what I've been speaking into existence is six figures.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna roll with your dream number.
Is that
We're
realistic?
gonna reverse engineer. It's more than realistic to hit six figures. And what we'll do is we'll reverse engineer your number,
Okay.
and help you come up with the numbers that are going to support that with your revenue stack. And we're going to divide that into the products and services that you offer. Make sure it gets in front of the right people. And we're going to run it. Did I have any other questions? How long will this price be for? September 2nd, Tuesday. So if I don't have any other questions, I'm gonna go ahead and close you guys out for tonight. And you guys, what I want you to do is you have homework now. Y'all wasn't ready for that. Y'all have homework. All right. If you want to win a one-on-one with me, you guys saw how I was talking to Takia. That's just the tip of the iceberg. We about to get deep down in her business and help her find all of her revenue leaks. And we're gonna reconfigure her revenue stack so that she's able to hit that goal that she talked about. We got all the tools and resources to do it, y'all. You guys got homework. If you want to win a one-on-one with me, you will join the community. Kyrie already put it in the chat. You will start with the guides there. You don't have to if you're already an existing tax pro. You don't have to start with those guides because those guides are specifically for getting you started. And then you would need to secure your investment today to work with me. So if you guys say that you're interested in credit, you want to go ahead and make sure that you sign up and make your first payment for the credit mentorship. Okay. And then with that, you will be able to tell the community your experience from today. Okay. So that's you guys' homework. These links are going to be available until September 2nd. After that, the credit mentorship is going back up to $3,400 and the launch package is going back up to $199. So I need you guys, again, remember we talked about this in the beginning, quick feet make money. If you guys are going to hesitate and wait, I can't help with that. But if you guys are really about your business, you're going to go ahead and make that investment in your business, because what I can say is there's no shortage of people that need credit help, right? You can look to the left and to the right of you. Plus, you're already in the finance industry. So you're just going to segue those clients that you already have right on into credit repair. And we make it so easy for you that you really only spend about 15 to 20 minutes per client per month. Okay. We also have some sweeps. We also have some more aggressive methods. And that's all AI backed. So you won't have to sit up there and figure out which letter fits with which round and how you will be able to do that for your client. What about just the marketing portion? Jacqueline, can you unmute for me so I can find out what you need as far as marketing goes? Because it's typically a lot of times it's not just a marketing issue, it's going to be a positioning issue. But I want to know if you're able to unmute. If not, it's okay.
Okay, yes, ma'am, I'm here.
All right,
So,
awesome. Hey, Jacqueline.
hey, how's everybody? Takia, much I'm wishing you, praying for your success because you got this.
That's right.
And for me, I
Thank
was
you
up.
so much.
Yes, ma'am. For me, it is definitely marketing because I sat in with your on your Canva um, session, and it was just awesome sauce. So from that session, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need consistency with my marketing and my branding. Now I have my colors and everything, but it's just not consistent and tight. It needs to be a little bit tighter. So that's what
Oh,
and the positioning, because this year, this tax season, I'm niching down to,
oh,
I'm niching down. So I
oh.
need to know, which way I can
You need to
go
be
with
able to
it.
reach your ideal clients.
Yes.
I got you. Okay. All right. So yeah, that does sound like what you need is just marketing, and I'll be more than happy to do that and help with that. So I do have my assistant took down your email address, and so I'll follow up with you to get you some pricing because I do have packages available. for a monthly, or if you just need, like, you want to try out 5 graphics or whatever. But we do have retainer packages, and then we do have some one-off packages. So just make sure that you be looking out for my email, and then I know who you are on Facebook, so I will get my Canva class is lit. Who else joined the Canva class
Yes,
that's
it
already in here?
was.
Y'all so crazy.
If you missed it, you missed a treat.
Listen, I don't do everything all the time for everybody, but we had fun that night. Okay, so yes, I'll get with you, Jackie, and kind of go over those things with you. Did I have any more questions? Let's see. Kiera says we need another one. We need another one. Oh yeah, I did promise y'all I would do another one. All right, maybe I can get one more in before the season starts. If not, don't hold me to it, because baby, I got a team to teach, and I got tax professionals to help, and I'm teaching other people's teams. Some of our mentees are commissioning me with teaching their teams too. So we got stuff to do. But I will see if I can do another Canva class. I know that I'm going to do one for fourth quarter, and maybe you guys will be able to grab one of those seats for that. But I will make sure that we do a Canva class before the year is out, and that'll have you guys. Because I'm doing a 60 for 60 challenge coming up. 60 days, 60 ways. If you can't talk about your business 60 days or 60 ways, you cannot run a full campaign on social media. You cannot run a full marketing campaign if you don't know how to talk about your business, your product, or your service 60 days. Okay, a full campaign. All right. Who's up for that type of challenge though? Because that it's gonna be tough. It sound easy. It's gonna be tough.
What child? I'm on mute for that one. What child? I'm ready out the
60 days, 60 ways, y'all. Who's down for it? Ain't nobody saying they down for it, but Jackie, who else is down for it? All right.
I might be with you. I might be with you.
You might be with me. Okay, Takia says she there. Kenny said it's crickets in the comments. Baby, y'all scared of that? I get it. But this is what's gonna bring you them clients. This is gonna get you what you want. I'm just, it's a numbers game, y'all. 60 days, 60 ways. And y'all have a beautiful night. Remember, these prices stay up till September 2nd. After that, it's back to full price. I will talk to you all soon.